Let's look at some things. A settler is someone who comes to an area looking to settle. That being said, this person is looking to establish permanent residence in an area. Settlers are usually peaceful. Settlers are stationary, meaning that they stay in one place after they settle. Settlers can consist of any heritage. A conquistador is a conqueror, usually Spanish, that takes control of an area successfully using military force. Conquistadors are forceful. Conquistadors constantly move and conquer. Conquistadors are Spanish. So now what? So now we look at legends. A legend is a traditional story and is occasionally categorized as historical, but is hardly authentic. Legends can also be related to a famous or notorious person. One legend that relates to Spanish Florida is a walk in harmony, which is a Timucuan legend. This legend gives information on the land area and creatures in the area of their tribe. Another legend that we can relate to is the Fountain of Youth, which is a Spanish legend. This legend gives information on the type of people who tried to find and settle in Spanish Florida.
Before the Spanish, or even French, came to settle in Florida, there was a Native American tribe already down here by the name of Timucua. They lived in northeastern Florida, which played a key role in Spanish settlement as the northern part of Florida, including parts of Georgia and Mississippi. The date of their original settlement is unknown, but it is estimated to be somewhere around 700 AD.
First of the Spanish explorers was Hernando de Soto, sent out to explore the New World in all of its freshness. He was the first to discover and cross the Mississippi River. Next, we have Ponce de Leon, originally the Spanish sent out to gain further insight on the New World. Here's a quick excerpt from Ponce's journal.
November 8th, 1493. My journey has been long and strenuous, but I'm happy to be writing my occurrences down, for it signifies that I am still alive. When deciding to go on this journey into the abyss, my main reason for doing so was mainly curiosity, and of course, the idea that I could be even on the same ship as a person well known as Christopher Columbus was overwhelming. Though the journey has only just begun, we encountered many savages on the island Columbus named Hispaniola. They are known as the Arawak and Carib tribes, and they strike fear into the many of the 1,500 men that I am accompanying. But they seem to fear our muskets more than we seem to fear their appearance. As long as I don't abandon my weapon, I think that I shall remain safe.
Juan Ponce de Leon came to Florida on exploration funded by the Spanish crown, much like all the other Spanish explorations, settlement attempts, etc. When Ponce got here, he found the Gulf Stream. Spain decided to take advantage of this because Florida was closer to Mexico, where Spain could gain access to the silver deposits in Mexico. The Spanish built short-lived settlements, one of which was the settlement of San Miguel de Gualdape on Sapelo Sound, Georgia, established 1526. The settlers built houses and churches. Another attempt at settlement was in 1559 to 1561. The town was called Pensacola and survived for about 1.5 years.
This wasn't the only reason Spain became adamant on capturing Florida. For instance, the Spanish did not want French to benefit from Florida, so they continuously sent missions to drive the French out and prevent them from colonizing. Of course, that wasn't the only reason. The Spanish also saw it as a way to reinforce their military. Capturing Florida would provide an advantage for things such as distance from certain countries or training grounds. And of course, like any good colonizing country, they were searching for gold and riches, such as the Mexican silver deposits. The Spanish also sent missions over to convert Native Americans over to Catholicism. So essentially, the Spanish missions were a saga of God, gold, and glory.
As the Spanish settled in their colonies, they began to live their lives as they used to. For instance, the Spanish began to ensue on their forms of entertainment. Things such as playing dice and board games occupied the free time of settlers. They also continued their worship, building churches and worshiping priests. The Spanish women would craft amulets mainly used for protection and assistance in reproduction. Farming continued to grow. Spanish farmers would grow figs, grapes, onions, peaches, and an array of vegetables and other fruits. Many Spanish settlers ate European-style meals.
Spain wasn't the only one to make claims on Florida, despite their efforts. Jean Ribault, for example, sent by France to claim Florida in 1562 and colonize. He went as far as to build a stone monument on the St. John's Bluff close to Jacksonville to claim the territory for France. However, these attempts were futile against the Spanish force and sheer determination.
Then, on September 8, 1565, Pedro Menendez de Villas founds St. Augustine. Shortly after the founding of St. Augustine, Menendez leads an army to capture Fort Caroline and renames it Fort San Mado. With further funding and expansion throughout not only Florida, but Spanish Florida as well, the Native American tribes in those areas began to rebel. Around 1597, the Native Americans in Gual, which is the Georgia coast, and in Cape Canaveral areas began to rebel the Spanish occupation.
As the Spanish expanded and conquered not only French but Native American settlements as well, people left. It's not known where everyone fled to, but it's known where some did. Some French colonists fled to English colonies during the colonial era. Some went back to France. Native Americans that were forced to leave their land searched for shelter with other tribes. Spanish settlers that didn't stay joined English colonies or went back to Spain or other parts of Europe.
As is a common proverb in history, victors write the history books. That being said, there were many victors during this time. The Spanish held control close to the 1700s. After that, the English took control. Journals, documents, and accounts from the losers, however, could give another biased opinion on the whole subject. Regardless of what accurate statements come through, none of them are very reliable. Each one is going to have that bit of bias. That being said, with that bias involved, no opinion will be full.